Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Dusty Page. I'm Julien. I'm gonna tell you guys how I do my reviews, and this is not something that I would tell you to emulate. This is a recommendation on how I review. The thing is, before, if you've seen some of my book reviews, I am always enthusiastic with every book I read. So when I make a book review, I don't even look at the negatives. I'm always on the positive. I'm so optimistic, and there's nothing wrong with being optimistic. But when you're reviewing, you should be open with the idea of both sides, so you can have things to say to your viewers on whether or not you think it's good and whether or not you think it's bad. I've learned through the years and through all those hate comments. So I'm gonna tell you what I have learned. I made 5 points on how I make my book reviews, and I'll go through them in this video. Dude, I just read November 9 and that absolutely sucked. Like, did you see even how abusive the relationship was? It was so toxic. Like, I absolutely hate it. It's terrible. Oh, how about that part where they like meet each other up and it was sort of cute, that part, wasn't it? Oh yeah, that part. That was really cute. I really like that part. Look at both the positives and the negatives. Weigh them. Put all the negatives in here and put all the positives. Tell your viewers why you think it's good and why you think it's bad. And if you think that the negative is overpowering the positive or vice versa, always have a part in your video where you still look at the positives or the negatives. Don't just focus on the goods, but also look at where it went wrong. Maybe it's because of the writing style, a thing that you didn't understand with the plot or the story. Those little things where you're like, wait, I don't understand how that happened. Take that into consideration and say that in your review. But with the positives and the negatives, you should also know how to overlook some things. Those little tiny details that don't really matter. Oh my gosh, this is the most revolutionary book I've ever read in my entire life. This will be the end of me. I just love it so much. Everything about this book is so beautiful. I just love it so much. Sarah J. Maas is my queen. I absolutely disagree with everything that I just said. Give it time. Have time to think about it. Don't go and jump into your review and go rambling on and on and on about how much you hate it or how much you love it. Let it sit for a day or two and just have time to really analyze the book. Because let me tell you, once that video is up on your channel or in your blog, there's no going back, sis. Unless you have the effort and energy to like do it again and delete that other thing that you just made and just do another video where you edit it again and then upload it again and I love editing, but at the same time, I hate editing. It's one of the most frustrating, longest thing to do. There is an exception to this rule, and that is when your main goal is to actually make a raw review. It's fresh from the oven, but tell your viewers that that is your raw opinion, and your opinion about it can change over time. If you are scared that you might forget all of the things you wanted to say from your raw review, you have to write it down. Which leads me to my third point. So this book, okay, I remember saying something about that chapter. Make effing notes. Notes is very important. This is a way for you not to forget your opinions and for you to have all of the thoughts you have put into the video you're doing. And the thing about notes is that you can write notes while you're reading the book. You can write notes after you read the book, and you can write notes after you let that story sit, after you just analyzed it. I hate this book. No one should ever read it. It's everything that I don't like in the book. I warn you. Fourth point, be open-minded. Know that if the story didn't sit well with you, it doesn't mean that it won't sit with other people. I have done this before, and let me tell you, I have learned my lesson. I have privated some of my ranting videos where I have said the phrase, I hate it, do not read it, it's terrible. Because even though I didn't like those books, I realized afterwards that I shouldn't have said that I do not recommend it, and I hope that you guys don't read it, because that's really unfair on my part, because maybe it will give a huge impact to you the way it didn't to me. And also, do not tell your viewers that you just kicked your book, because you can absolutely abuse a non-living thing. Another thing with being open-minded is know the goal of the author. You should know that maybe that author wrote that for the sole purpose of making a problematic character or a problematic plot for the sake of having room for improvement. For example, a character that you hate so much because they are so toxic and annoying, you just want to grab their hair and push their head in the toilet. Just don't expect that every character is going to be perfect, because some authors like to experiment and actually give other representations and not just having the typical good girl cliche, so insecure about herself even though she's the most beautiful thing in the entire world. Which again leads me to my fifth point. I just read this book and it's like one of the worst books I've ever read in my entire life. Really? You finished it? How was it? I got up to page 20 and I was like, I can't bear this character and I'm not gonna read about her anymore, so bye! Finish the damn book before you actually make a book review. This is very important because I've seen a lot of wrap-ups where they didn't even finish the book and they start saying how much they hated that story, which is sort of unfair because they haven't even finished the story. And it's fine if you don't give a book a chance. Don't make a review over something that you didn't even give a chance. Maybe because in the end that book actually proved itself. You just didn't want to look at it anymore. You don't want to be in it anymore, so you just stop. It's fine to DNF a book. It's so hard for me to get through some books because they're so boring, and it's absolutely okay for you to do that. Or if you're not comfortable with the characters or the story, that's why you want to stop yourself. Because when I don't like a series because I hate the protagonist, I still continue on the series except if it's boring. It always depends on the writing for me, because if the plot is irritating but the writing is easy to get into, it's easy for me to finish that series. For example, the Shatter Me series by Tahera Mafi. You know how much I hated that series in the first 3 books. And the thing is, I still believe that the first 3 books is bad because when people started saying that Ignite Me would have such an amazing character development, and it was supposed the last book in the series, it made me angry because the character development, even though it was shown, it didn't have stages, which led me to say that I didn't like it because I actually finished the first 3 books and I was like, that was a bad character development writing. But I still tried. I got into Restore Me, and now look, I love Restore Me, even though I still hate Julien Ferrars. So yeah, that is my how to make a book review or movie review or anything you want to do with the review thing. I hope you guys learned something from this. Yeah, I'll see you guys and you'll see me in the next video. Bye bye.